Crafty Monsters, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is fabulous. So, in today's fabulous tutorial, did everybody notice what was different here? So, I'm not wearing a hat. Remember I told you guys that I was gonna let you guys see my growing process. This is my growing process right now. So I'm gonna go get this done yesterday. So I got a fresh, I'm gonna go get my hair did. So this is what we're doing. This is what we have going on right now, Bobo. Maybe in a few more weeks we'll have a little bit more growth on the top and we'll be able to start styling it the way I want to style it, which is like this little messy hair kind of thingy majingy that I'm gonna do. But anyway, we ain't here about hair, girl. So let's talk about the project today. Today we are going to be making a Halloween decor. It's gonna be like a little 3D kind of thing. So I've seen a lot of people kind of grab these web bowls from the Dollar Tree. Most of everything that I purchased was from the Dollar Tree. I would say 98% of everything that I used was from the Dollar Tree. So I've been seeing that a lot of people have been grabbing these little spider web bowls and they've been decorating them. They've been decorating them for either as a centerpiece, or they've been doing them to hang them on the wall. We actually are making one to hang on the wall. So we're gonna go ahead and make this little bad boy right here. So whoa, calm down there, sir. So when it's hanging, cause see, here's the thing though. I gotta tell you guys what it is, okay? So when it's hanging, this is the way it's going to basically look. It's going to be hanging this way. Sorry, Peanut just decided to shake himself right now. So anyway, this is the way that it's going to be hanging. We went ahead and we made this. Now you're not going to be able to see this battery pack in the back, but this battery pack in the back is because we did add some lights. So you got the little lights going on right there. I know you probably can't see them because it is so damn bright up in here, but we did put some lights in here. And so this little back part, there's like a little pocket right here. That's where we have the battery part of the lights, but everything else is kind of twined into the little bowl. So basically I'm just going to go ahead and hang this like this on my wall, make it a little 3D. We went ahead and we added these little flowers and then the little spiders. Everybody has seen these spiders before. Like I said, everything in here is basically from the Dollar Tree, including the lights. The lights, we did find these in the flower section at the Dollar Tree. So these lights are the ones that we added here. So everything except for the batteries and the little eyelash yarn and this little sequence border, that's the only thing that we did not purchase at the Dollar Tree, but everything else is from the Dollar Tree. So this is a very inexpensive little project that you can do with your kids or yourself or whatever, but it is super duper cute. And of course this is a hot glue gun, so parents need to be present with their children. Do not let your children do this by themselves, because we do not need to be rushing nobody to no hospital for second-degree burns. So boo-boos, be very careful. This is a fun little project. Go ahead and make a few of them to put around your house. And I'm not going to waste you guys' time anymore, because I know you guys want to get down and dirty, boo-boos, and make this little bad boy. So let's go ahead and make this, and I will see you in a bit. Alrighty then, my little crafty monsters, let's get down and dirty and make this little bad boy right here. So, someday I'm gonna stop, I promise, my little crafty monsters, but it ain't gonna be anytime soon, I'll tell you that. But let's get started on this. So this is that little spider web bowl that we picked up from the Dollar Tree. These are my little snips that I picked up at Home Depot. I've had these for a while. You guys have seen me use these. I'm just using this to go ahead and cut a little part of the point from this bowl, because I'm going to attach a chipboard to it, which is what I'm going to use as a base for the flowers and all that stuff that I want to glue onto this. The reason why Jesse is doing this is because for some reason the hot glue will adhere to the cardboard a lot better than the plastic. If you guys have ever done any projects, you guys will see that whenever you glue hot glue onto plastic, eventually it kind of falls off. But if you're going to be using it on either chipboard or any kind of paper kind of material, then it tends to kind of really stick onto that a little bit more. So that's what we're basically doing. We're using some E6000 and a little bit of the hot glue to hold it in place. I'm just actually attaching it to wherever it is that the basket or the bowl, whatever you want to call it, is touching the chipboard. And you kind of have to hold it there for a little bit. You're going to see that I'm going to be here for a hot minute, but it is completely worth it. I am going to add tape to this a little bit afterwards as well. That's just to secure it and to allow the glue to also dry. But you will notice that I'm not going to take off the tape. I'm just going to leave it on there. I mean, once we decorate all of the front, you guys are not even going to see that chipboard or anything attached to the chipboard. We're going to do a pretty good job on basically covering that up. So this is the part where I'm adding the tape. I'm just using painter's tape. There's no special tape that I'm using. It's just basically to hold it in place so that it doesn't move and it'll allow it to dry. And then, like I said, we're just going to go ahead and leave that tape on there. So now that this is ready, this is our basic base that we are going to go ahead and attach all of our roses to. That spider, I also purchased it at Z Dollar Tree, and we're going to use it as a centerpiece for the center of this web. Make it look like that's his web. This is some red eyelash yarn that I picked up at the Hobby Lobbies a few years ago. This, I mean, a spool of this will really go a long way, guys. Like, honestly, I've had this for a while. You guys have seen me use eyelash yarn for everything because I just tend to love how it looks. I mean, it's sparkly. It's, you know, it gives it a little bit of dimension. And, I mean, it just looks really cute. So, in this part, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and just put the eyelash yarn on the very edge of this little spiderweb bow. But you don't have to really worry because some of you are probably thinking, well, you know, you're going to see the trim of that eyelash and also the hot glue. No, we're not, my little crafty monsters, because we're not going to leave it like that. We're going to actually cover this up with some sequins lace, and I think that's what it's called. It's called a sequence lace or a sequence ribbon or whatever it is that you want to call it. But we're going to go ahead and cover that up with that just to kind of make it a little bit more neater. And then also too, because it's kind of like a silver, kind of charcoal-ish or like a gun silver, it's going to look really, really good with this. And it's going to give it kind of like a little more of a pop and a little sparkle to it. So right here, I'm just using my tweezers and I'm being very, very careful on not letting the glue get onto the actual eyelashes. Now, if you guys have ever worked with this, you guys will notice that there is a seam where all these little eyelash yarns are actually attached to make it look like an eyelash. I'm twisting this so that it's only gluing the actual seam of this little eyelash yarn, because I don't want none of those little eyelashes to actually get caught into the glue. I want them to, you know, be free. And so we just go ahead and go all the way down to the bottom. Now you don't have to go anywhere like close to that chipboard or on the chipboard because nobody's really going to see that. All the flowers and all the roses that we're going to add onto this are going to basically cover this up, and it's just going to look nice. So this is that sequence ribbon that I was talking about. This one, I picked this up at my little hole in the wall in downtown LA. So I went ahead and I picked this up there. This was like super duper cheap. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for this whole entire spool, I spent $10. And you know that that is ridiculous because of the simple fact that when you go to like the Hobby Lobbies or Joann's or something and you try to buy this kind of a sequence ribbon, you're going to pay anywhere from $1 to $3 per yard. And that could be a little pricey at times, or maybe even more expensive than that. I have seen some of these sequence ribbons as high as like $7.99 or $9.99 a yard. So they do get pretty pricey. So once we go ahead and finish doing the trim on this little bow, you guys are going to notice that the rest of this is going to go super duper fast. If you guys have done any flower arrangements, you guys will notice that, you know, it's not really that hard. It's just really putting all of the flowers together. So right here I was looking to see if I was going to put some in the very front, and I said, nope, we ain't doing it, boo-boo. So this is our little finished product. Well, I mean not finished, but I mean like finished with the trim and the little sequence. And so I'm just adjusting that little spider in between those little webs, and it's going to be pretty snug that you don't really even have to put any glue or anything. He's not going to go anywhere. So right here I'm just taking apart the flowers and the leaves and those little like vines that it comes with, and I'm also taking off the plastic backing from the leaves, and this is just so that they could lay out flat. We're going to go ahead and glue those onto that base, the chipboard base that we made for our little decoration. I'm taking off these little silver glittered skulls that come with this little flower arrangement, but I'm not even going to use them because I don't want to go ahead and put like too much stuff. I want this to stay kind of black and kind of dark. We are going to be using some lights, adding some lights, which will kind of give it a little extra pop and a little extra something something. But anywho, so right here we're just going to go ahead and just glue all of these leaves, and the leaves are just basically serving as a cover up for this little chipboard so you don't see it, although you probably wouldn't have seen it anyway even if we didn't do this and we just attached the roses onto the chipboard base. But I'm just doing it just in case some of that little chipboard is kind of like peeping out a little bit. And so right here, I'm just going to go ahead and cut off a little bit of that plastic from the bottom of the roses. Be really careful that you don't do it too close to the rose, because once you do that, it will fall apart like this one just did right now. But it's okay because we're going to just use it as a little bud. And so now we're going to go ahead and be careful and not really cut off too much of the plastic. And then I just add some glue, and then I just put it in there, but I want to make sure that it's touching the actual chipboard and not one of those black leaves. So make sure you move those leaves around so that you can go ahead and get a secure little area where it's going to attach to the chipboard, and you'll know that those roses are not going to go anywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 4 of them because I figure that that's a pretty good number. And I wanted that spider to be a little bit off to the left, so that's why he's kind of like climbing out of his little spider web. So don't think that it's crooked, guys. That was intentional. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start attaching these little like vines that, I mean, I don't know what they're called, but they're just like these little black vines that you get with this little arrangement just to give it more of a like scarier kind of Halloween-y look. Is that even a word? Halloween-y? Yes, it is. Don't judge me. So we're going to go ahead and just attach these little Halloween-y looking vines to our little arrangement. And I'm just putting them here and there just to kind of give it a little bit of a dimension, a little bit of, you know, like something sticking out of it. So I mean, I really love how these look. As a matter of fact, you guys have seen, if any of you have seen my live, I did a Michael's haul, and I did buy an arrangement. Well, not an arrangement, but you know, a little bunch of those actual little branch vines or whatever they're called. So right here I'm going to go ahead and just put like a little X of bones, and I'm going to go ahead and use my E6000 and a little bit of the hot glue to go ahead and put those together. And I'm also using a little bit of the painter's tape. That painter's tape is going to serve as, it's just going to hold it into place. But I forgot I was going to add the hot glue, so we're gonna go ahead and add that later. And then once those bones are dried, or like once it's cured, we're gonna go ahead and just add a little skull to it. You know, you've seen that little bones in the skulls. It looks amazing. It just reminds me of like the Pirates of the Caribbean, you know me and my Disney. So these are little spider rings that we purchased at the Dollar Tree as well, and we're gonna go ahead and just put them here and there on the flowers. This is just to give it a little pop of color, so you're gonna be able to see the purple little gem from the spiders as well as the little orange. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just spread these out. There's no really uniform way of putting these. It's just really to put them wherever it is that you want to put them. And so Right here, I'm just going to go ahead and attach the last one. And we're basically almost done, my little crafty monsters, because we don't really want to add too much stuff to this. I believe that, you know, adding just a little bit of stuff is good enough. I mean, you don't want to get too crazy. I will add these little skulls. I'm going to add 2 of them to the little arrangement just so that you can get, you know, like that little death kind of feel. Don't get scared, my little crafty monsters. It's all just a decoration. So we're going to go ahead and just put those. And then once these little bones are dry, see, we're going to go ahead and add some hot glue onto those. And it'll hold those in place while the E6000 is curing so that we can get a mega hold on that. And so we will need to put some E6000 and hot glue onto that actual little cross so that we can go ahead and attach that to the actual point of that little bow. We're going to use that point as a center because it's basically centered. And so that's where we're going to add that. Kind of just gave, like I said, just gave it like that little Pirates of the Caribbean feel. I don't know why, I just wanted to add that. And so that's basically what we have right now. And then we're just going to go ahead and just add the lights. Now the lights that we added, or that we're going to add, are basically from the Dollar Tree. These are from the Dollar Tree. They take 2 AA batteries. You can also purchase from the Dollar Tree, but I did not purchase them there because I already had some offhand. So go ahead and be really careful when you're taking this apart because this is a copper wire, and the copper wire, if you continue bending it in the same spot, it basically will break. So you want to kind of be careful with those. If you have ever worked with these, then you know what I'm talking about. But right here, I'm just going to go ahead and weave it in, and then I'm going to weave the rest of it through the back. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over upside down. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that the little light parts are the ones that are actually peeping out from the inside of that bow, if that makes any sense. It makes sense in my head. But anyways, you just want to make sure that the lights are inside the bow so that when you have it against the wall, it just looks like there's lights inside. So go ahead and just keep weaving it in there. There is no special way to do this. I'm just basically using the wire itself to secure it. So I like kind of twist it around that one of those little black spider web kind of strings or whatever you want to call them. And just keep going until you go to the very end of your little light string, and there you go. And so we're going to go ahead and just now add some batteries to this. We do need a little screwdriver. These little battery packs are just crazy with these little screwdrivers. So just go ahead and just open that up. I mean, I get it. You know, they put those there so that if it falls or whatever, your the lid is not going to fall off and the battery's not going to like roll under the couch or something. But you know, but they are a little bit annoying sometimes. And so right here, Jesse is going and he's looking for those batteries. I know we have batteries. I've seen the batteries, guys. I just need to go find them. So that's what we're doing right now. So far, this little Halloween decor looks super awesome. I really am liking how it looks. And there you guys go. So now we have lights in our little decor, which will look amazing when you have the lights off and then you just have that little light on. Isn't that cool, guys? So I mean, you could add these and you could not if you don't want to, but that's it, guys. Try it out, and if you guys do, share it with us on our social media, Paper to Masterpiece, on Facebook and Instagram. See you guys later. Welcome back, my little crafty monsters. That's how easy it was to make this little bad boy right here. So I hope you guys go ahead and try to make one of these for your house, or maybe a few of them to put around the house. You could also, I've seen people use these as their little wreath for the door, but I think they're a little bit too small. Maybe if you live in an apartment complex, it wouldn't be that small, but for my house, it would be a little bit too small. So I'm going to use this for one of the wall decors or something like that. I really love that we incorporated these little lights that we found at the Dollar Tree. Isn't that amazing, guys? I mean, for $1, they usually sell these little light strands for about, what, $5.99 to even $9.99 a strand, depending on what store you guys go to. But finding them there at the Dollar Tree was amazing. And I love how it gives it that little extra pop. So, you know, when the lights are not as bright in that room, I mean, this is going to basically stand out. Not to mention that it is 3D. So this is a project that you can do with your family. Of course, parents, you are using a hot glue gun, so you are going to be making most of all of the work, and do not leave your kids unattended because we don't need to be going to no hospital. However, I do believe that it would be really cool for them to kind of like tell you where they want certain things, and then like that it's kind of like their design and their creation. That's what I would actually do. But I hope you guys go ahead and try to make one of these little bad boys, or 2 or 3 or 4, however many you need. And go ahead and share on our social media, Instagram and Facebook at Paper to Masterpiece. Show us your creation. We would love to see what you guys come up with. And also, go ahead and just put as many pictures as you possibly can, because I really would love to see what you guys come up with. I mean, so many people have different, like likes and stuff, and so like you might have used something that I probably would have been like, I wish I would have did that too. So you know how that always happens. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Go ahead and hit that little icon. It's on one of these corners right here, and it's a picture of moi, and we become BFFFFFs, cause I know BFs is good, boo boo, I know it is, but BFFFF is even better. So go ahead and hit that little subscribe button so we can become BFFFFs, and give us a thumbs up, guys, and like the video, because that will definitely help us to grow our channel. And God knows we need to grow, because we did take a little bit of a break, so now we need to get back rolling on that ball. So anywho, don't forget to share and tell your friends, cause something this good, boo boo, cannot be kept a secret. So tell your friends, and goodbye.